Freaks everywhere. It is time. My name is Hoops Freak Fensty with AB Adam Bernard, and it's time for another episode of Card Wars. Having a lot of fun talking about stories from the 1990s, trying to remember those players that we haven't thought about in 30 plus years, and a great way to do it and get those natural reactions beyond the stories themselves is just some snap analysis and just to have some fun by talking about some randos, which is why Card Wars exists. What it is me and Adam right here, we have a pack of 1992, 1993 Topps cards, which I'm excited about. An amazing rookie class from the 1992 NBA draft class that we're going to talk about here. But what we then do is we play a simulated game of the card war where we randomly start showing each other a card, figure out who has the better card, they get the point. And so far in this series of Card Wars, make sure you check out our previous Card Wars that we had, episode 1. Adam Bernard, victorious right there. AB, what's going on, man?
I'm doing well. Card Wars 1. Came down to the wire. That was an 8-7. Like, you had a lead. Like, you didn't build a huge lead. It was just enough that I'd have to creep back in. Today, it's going to be an 18 card pack. And as you mentioned, also that rookie class. I mean, those are the two rookies we're looking for right there. Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning. You see that like gold embossed 92 draft pick kind of stamp there on the lower right corner. But a lot of these packs we're going to do here is never going to break the bank. You know what I mean? Hey, a Shaq rookie's a Shaq rookie. You know what I mean? And we got 36 cards to maybe pull one of those between the two of us today.
Yes. I mean, let's just talk about some of these rookies quickly. I'm just going to read off names, and you see some of these names and you just remember like specific moments, like Harold Miner coined Baby Jordan during the mid-90s. He's in this draft class. Clarence Weatherspoon, Robert Horry, Big Shot Rob is in this draft class here. Even guys you remember from an NBA Jam like Todd Day in this one too. Adam Keefe was on one of the teams too, right? He was definitely.
I haven't heard that name.
Yes,
Adam Keefe.
Exactly. That's why Hoops Freak Fensty exists. And make sure you like and subscribe, and you catch previous Hoops Freak Fensty stories of the 1990s. So again, I don't know what I have. I just opened the pack again in 1992, 1993 Topps pack. So Shaquille O'Neal coming out of LSU, the big Shaqness, going to the Orlando Magic and essentially putting that franchise on the center stage, nearly making the playoffs, losing by a tiebreaker in the rookie year of Shaquille O'Neal in 93 to the Pacers, who got in. But that's the impact Shaq had. And you know that from previous episodes of Hoops Freak Fensty on the Magic, a 20-win improvement the season they got Shaq, which is the one we're focused on here.
All right, let's get the first card going here. First up for me is a 92 draft pick card. But this is going to be, I'm going to get the webcam up on the screen. This is going to be a Reggie Smith.
I don't have Reggie Smith, the Reggie Smith. And for me, Keith Askins. Okay, here's the interesting thing about Keith Askins. He is one of the originals of the Miami Heat and everything like that. And my grandfather was actually an OG. He was a Knicks transport down to Florida and then became a Heat fan when they launched in the late 80s. And I would always goof with him. Oh, who do the Heat still have? Keith Askins? He was kind of one of the OG Heat expansion team guys.
So I would probably be more inclined to give you the win here.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Reggie Smith. It's a very generic name. So.
Yeah, exactly. If it was Reggie Miller, then we'd have a different story there.
Yes. So looks like Fensty takes the first one of Card Wars 2 here.
Okay. This happened last time, and then I lost. I see what you're doing.
We shall see. Next up on, I took a scan through my pack. I don't think I'm winning today. I've got Tate George from the Nets.
And I got Mark Price in something that I actually want. I want this starter jacket of the Cleveland Cavaliers for Mark Price. An incredible shooter, AB, and just because of injuries, and that seemed to haunt the Cavs teams of the 90s, Brad Daugherty and Mark Price, both of them hampered by injuries. But what could have been with those two guys if Michael Jordan didn't exist?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you run into the gauntlet that's the Bulls every year, and then, yeah, I mean, he's got a couple of memorable shots against the Cavaliers, so you're going to take that one for sure. I mean, that's an easy one.
I love that old school Nets jersey, by the way. Another episode of Hoops Freak Fensty. Make sure you check out there on the New Jersey Nets. I know one of AB's favorites.
Now, I know this guy's name has been brought up on Hoops Freak Fensty, but I don't have any hopes of winning. We're going to say I've got like a 3 of hearts here. If we were playing war, I got Blue Edwards for the Bucks there.
Ooh, Blue Edwards. Okay, so
maybe like a 5 of spades. Maybe I was a little too.
Yeah, because I got the 2 of clubs right here in Travis Mays. So I know very little about.
All right, you know what? And that sometimes happens when you play war. You put out like a 5 of spades. Somebody puts out a 2 of clubs, and you're like, all right, I'll take that one.
The only thing cool is this Hawks jersey. I actually like these Hawks jerseys. I like the yellow stripe too, but these Hawks jerseys are actually pretty freaking cool.
All right. Now, I've got a run of cards here that I feel like I got to make hay soon because the back end is not going to be great. Going to go back to another net here. Also played on the Sixers and the Pistons. Been talked about multiple times here on Hoops Freak Fensty. Mr. Rick Mahorn.
Ooh, Rick Mahorn. I mean, you're going to definitely take this one. Rick Mahorn, one of the bad boy OGs from the Pistons that didn't get protected in the expansion draft that brought in the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves selected him first overall in the expansion draft in '89, and he wouldn't report there. He gets traded to the Sixers, played with Barkley there. So for me, Stanley Roberts. So Stanley Roberts is interesting. Decent player. The main thing I remember about him is that he was part of the NBA Jam Los Angeles Clippers with Pooh Richardson, and no one ever played as the Clippers.
I don't remember. I couldn't even tell you who the third person was for the Clippers.
Loy Vaught or something like that.
Yeah, I believe both of them had starting lineups, I think. Not Stanley Roberts, though. If you had pulled that card last hand, I would have said that probably beats Blue Edwards, but I don't think you beat Rick Mahorn here.
No. This is a guy who averaged double figures here the season before. He had a few of those seasons, but those Clippers teams were just lost. That was the problem there.
I mean, did you watch the, not documentary, but based on a true story miniseries that Ed O'Neill played Donald Sterling?
Yes.
If you haven't, that was even my wife was like, that was a good series. She could care less about the LA Clippers. That was very well. He did a good job playing Donald Sterling there.
And they did have a random playoff appearance in the mid-'90s during that heyday too, but no business being there. So,
and they lose to the Rockets?
I forget.
I don't know who it is.
Future Hoop Freak Fensty, the Clippers.
I mean,
comment if you want to hear about the Los Angeles Clippers of the mid-'90s, and I'll do that one in the next number of weeks.
And here's the thing too, we'll talk about a lot of good things, obviously dynasties, things like that, but we'll also do some of the lowlights too. Now, I think I got a chance to maybe take a lead here.
Yeah, you got that point for sure.
So here we go. I'm going to put down Hersey Hawkins.
Hersey Hawkins is going to win this one. Love that jersey. Love another starter jacket. I think of Jason Kidd when I see this starter jacket. But yes, for Tracy Moore, nah. Maybe if it was like Tracy Morgan and it was a special comedy card, but no.
I love Tracy Morgan. I do love those 76er jerseys. That was the end of the Barkley era because that was the last jersey he had wore before he got sent out to Phoenix. So I got a 3-2 lead here. I'm excited. It's 3-2. We got an 18 card pack. We're about to be at the third point, if that's a thing here. I've got another 92 draft pick, and I've got a chance with this guy here. Ended up being around the league for a little bit. Mr. Todd Day.
You know what's interesting about that card? That card in a lot of Beckett's, for some reason, that particular card is featured a lot from this set. So you win some style points there because also David Wood, maybe if it was Danny Wood from New Kids on the Block, I'd have a shot, or Kerry Wood, the pitcher. But you know what? David Wood, nah, that's not going to win me anything there. So you get another point.
All right. So you took
this is a route right now.
Well, I mean, listen, you were up by a couple last week too. And there's a couple extra cards. Last week was a 15 card pack. So today's 18. So there's more time to go here. All right. So the next couple I got coming up are my, gold versions there with the banner with the name and the team at the bottom, but the player, not so much. Buck Johnson.
Ooh, okay. And I got a special 20 assist club, Doc Rivers, who, for those that are Knicks fans out there, Doc Rivers been on a few teams, been in a few fights too, Hawks being one of them. Doc Rivers on the Knicks. Now, Doc Rivers was there before Derek Harper. Then he gets hurt in 93-94. The Knicks trade for Derek Harper, who I've always said about those mid-90s Knicks teams was a big-time key to the Knicks' success there in their near championship in 1994. But Doc Rivers was the guy beforehand, and just another tenacious player, talked a lot of trash, an excellent fearless driver, just a really crappy, overrated coach.
And he's also in that series we talked about earlier with the Clippers. I forget if it was Netflix Showtime. He also prominent character in that. You definitely win, and that's one thing I do love about the Topps basketball cards from this era was the 20 assist club or like 20 rebound club, like those like little insert sets. Those were cool little filler cards. So we gave you that one, no problem there. 4-3. I've got a card we've already pulled already, but the gold version of it, Mr. Keith Askins. So we'll see if I take this one. Even though it's the same, so it's a repeat with the gold version.
So you get the gold versus Olden Polynice.
He was a good center, though.
So he was all right. But you know what? Have you ever seen the movie Eddie?
Yeah.
Remember that when Whoopi Goldberg became the
Knicks?
He's at the free throw line, and Whoopi Goldberg called someone like a black hole of basketball. And Olden Polynice randomly at the free throw line just starts explaining the scientific terms of what a black hole is. And then he nails the free throw.
Yeah. I haven't watched that movie in a while. That might be one worth. I might be one throwing on again. That was a good one. I remember seeing that.
Take charge.
Now the question is, who's getting the point here? You or me? Keith Askins or Polynice? I would be even with the gold embossing. I think I got to give it to you here.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't really a double-digit scorer. He could rebound though. Just a good big body. Like there were just a bunch of good middle of the road big bodies. You and I were talking randomly about Oliver Miller. He kind of falls into that line.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now I have the non-gold version of this one of a card I already pulled. I believe Buck Johnson.
Doubles for sure. Charles Barkley, first year on the Phoenix Suns, maybe a top 5 jersey of all time. The Barkley Purple Suns jersey.
Yeah, even the white ones were nice, but yeah, the purple ones where it's at. Yeah, the Hornets were teal and purple, but like the Suns were always purple, and then they leaned harder into purple when they did the jersey change. That was a great look. That was a great.
One of my favorite things was when he told, before the '93 finals began, he told Ahmad Rashad, "God wants us to be the world champions." And Ahmad Rashad goes, "I don't know if I'd go that far, Charles." And Charles goes, "No. I talked to him the other night."
Yeah. He was always a character. My dad loved Charles Barkley. Let's see here. We got coming up. So you've got a 5-4 lead now. So like I said, you just rattled off 3 in a row.
I'm about to lose. Don't worry.
Maybe not, because I got Mark Bryant.
Ooh, this could be like a tie. LaSalle Thompson, very similar here in value.
All right, we might have to go to Basketball Reference because I mean you could do like the 1, 2, 3 flip a card. That's not what we're doing here. Sorry, Mark Bryant. I'm going to pull his resume up here.
So LaSalle. Okay, wow. Okay, I didn't realize this. So here's the interesting thing. This is a '90s show, but if they dominated in the '80s and then we're kind of like the sun was setting in the '90s, how does that impact the overall value of the card?
I'm going to listen. I'm going to give it to LaSalle Thompson here.
He had a bunch of years of averaging double-digit scoring.
I mean, Mark Bryant played from '88 until 2003. And he had a decent run with Portland and Houston and Phoenix as a guy off the bench. Glenridge, New Jersey native, but I'm going to give it to LaSalle Thompson here. So Fensty now.
Pacers always had these bangers because they had him and Rick Smits, and then before you know it, they had Dale and Antonio Davis and Derek McKee.
8 cards to go here. 8 cards to go at the 10-way point here. We're just past the halfway point. You might make it. You might rattle off quite the streak here. And I got another Buck, Anthony Pollard, in practice clearly.
And I've got a Walt Williams rookie.
Walt Williams was a solid player.
Yes,
really.
Just another guy, just a good average big man. Did his job, knew his job, wasn't anything special.
I don't know if you even have to worry about a backdoor cover at this rate. I got Victor Alexander with the Warriors there.
And I get another 20 assist club, Gary Grant.
An underrated player from those Clippers teams.
Right. And I like this jersey. I don't have a Clippers jersey. I want to get a Clippers jersey. I'm trying
to
think
of the gold one. Yeah. You got that. Let's see here. Next up, while I like the Timberwolves jerseys, Michael Williams, another one for the generic name club.
So here's the interesting thing. I nearly jumped for joy because I thought this was Isaiah Thomas. No, Isaiah Morris. I should have noticed it by the draft. This guy did nothing. This was the end of the bad boys era where he was buried on the bench.
So he played one season. Michael Williams. Oh, right. Yeah, it's all matches for Michael Williams. That's he played also one season.
I'll give it to Michael Williams.
All right. Well, I'll take the point there. I needed to break up the streak.
Yes.
All right. There we go. We're getting down to our last few here. I've got there's a name you probably haven't heard in a while, LaBradford Smith.
Oh, so do you remember seeing Last Dance?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan faked in his mind. He inceptioned himself. LaBradford Smith. He inceptioned himself like LaBradford Smith talked crap about him just to motivate himself.
Yeah, they say like nice game, Michael, or just something harmless, but like just enough of a dig, and it never happened.
That was literally Inception before the movie Inception. And I got Sean Brooks, who, I mean, you thought he was going to maybe be something, but I'll say this, when it comes to relevance, I'm giving it to LaBradford because of all that Michael Jordan wizardry crap that he pulled, he ruined LaBradford Smith's career.
All right, so but only because of that documentary. Otherwise, Sean Rooks would have taken it. That documentary brought the relevance back.
Great. That's just like another Walt Williams.
All right, here we go. 4 cards to go, and if Fensty takes 2 more, it's over. Yes. I've got another Philadelphia 76er. A lot of Sixers and Bullets today. Eddie Lee Wilkins.
Ooh, one of my former co-hosts, radio co-hosts, one-time co-host, Sam Mitchell. Right here. Later on, Coach of the Year, right now on the Indiana Pacers. And this was right before we saw that mid-90s, late 90s Pacers team form. This was the cusp right here.
I've booked many a studio for Coach, and he's a good dude. He'll give you a hard time sometimes, but it's all in fun. He'll give you a hard time, and then 2 minutes later, he's like, I'm just breaking.
That's true.
All right, so Fensty one away from clinching victory on Card Wars 2 to even the series 1-1, but I don't think you're going to clinch it yet, my friend. Oh, no. It may be 9-6, but I got the Kembe Mutombo, so you're going to need a heavy hitter here to eliminate me.
You're right, I am. How about John Stockton?
Ooh.
There's no debate here. I mean, it's Stockton. The Kembe Mutombo is not regarded as one of the 50 greatest players of all time, even list going to 75.
Because it's Stockton, yeah, but I mean, there's other guys that are in that tier that I might make an argument for, like
Scottie Pippen or Dikembe Mutombo.
Kembe.
See, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you there too. I love Dikembe.
The defense he provided. Say defenseman,
right?
The defense he provided. I mean, he was like a key figure, like of those. You start with the Nuggets, he was a key part. The Hawks, he was a key part. The Nets, he was a key part of those teams in the late 90s, early 2000s. So Sixers. So like, I'll agree. You win. You take it with Stockton there. So you win 10-6. So it doesn't really matter what happens after. We'll go through the last 2 cards.
Yeah. I also had respect for him, and I remember watching this when I was about 7 years old. It was like when you're a kid, you were kind of afraid of Dennis Rodman in the mid-90s. Just this like badass of the NBA back then. And John Stockton, I remember watching a game on like NBA and NBC, and he and John Stockton got into it, and Stockton just kept talking crap to him. You can read the words he was mouthing, F you. Hey, Rodman, F you. I respected him big time after that, seeing that live.
I was never scared of him. I was intrigued by him, I guess. What amazed me about it is that like he could just do what he wanted. Like,
right.
He got away with stuff that would get you benched, traded, straight up released in some instances. And like for teams like, a guy like Michael Jordan, who like we all understood the standard he held everybody to. Even he was like, all right, if Dennis needs to go to Vegas for a couple team, whatever, as long as he's back and ready to go, fine. Like, so he was just like this, and he's like buddies with like a North Korean dictator. Like,
back in those Spurs days, though, in the mid-90s, like totally unhinged. You didn't know, like he'd just take the jersey off in the middle of the game and toss it.
I mean, he was Antonio Brown before Antonio Brown.
He really was. It's a good call.
So I think they're going to go up 11 to 11 here. I got Danny Young from the Pistons.
And I got Clarence Weatherspoon, who had a number of good years on the Sixers, also on the Heat too. Missed a clutch shot in the 2000 playoffs against the Knicks in Game 7. Charles Sprewell got the rebound, called timeout, and the Knicks were able to win the series. But yeah, just a good forward, good scoring forward, good mid-range shooter.
Got stuck on some bad teams.
Yeah, those Sixers teams did nothing then.
Now so 11-6, last card here. I think I can maybe narrow the gap a tiny bit. I've got Horace Grant.
Oh, I mean, this one's going to win, but rest in peace and power, Malik Sealy. And yeah, obviously we know about the tragedy with Malik Sealy, but Malik Sealy had a few good years. And it's funny because here he is on the Indiana Pacers. And I just think what it would be like if he were on during those prime 94, 95, 98 years with him or beforehand, and then unfortunately passed away in a car accident, but still a very productive forward and someone who, if you ask Kevin Garnett, served as a mentor to him early on.
So St. John's alum.
Yes.
I'm out of St. John's.
Yes, good call. Fun rookie class, that's for sure.
Always a tough segue out of something like that, but Fensty takes Card Wars 2. So we are tied at 1 apiece. We haven't decided what the next pack will be. We'll figure that out after we're done with this episode. But yeah, I mean, you took it today. The Kembe wouldn't have made a difference. You still win 10-8, even if you wanted to go the other way on the Stockton. So yeah.
It was very close. It's a fun pack. That Clarence Weatherspoon, I feel like I got it back in 1993 when I opened the pack. I'm sure back then I probably had 3 of those cards there with my old school cards that I have still. And this is why we do it, because it's fun. And this is what we did, that adrenaline rush you get when you go to a store and you get even a few packs of cards. Everyone gets a box these days. You just get yourself 3 packs of cards, and maybe, just maybe, there's something in there that now 30 plus years later, you'll remember. You'll never, ever, ever forget. And that's what makes Card Wars a lot of fun, AB.
Absolutely. And we've got at least 6 more packs to go of the first batch before we got to reorder. So we got a nice mix of early 90s, late 80s stuff in there. We got a Dream Team pack in there that we'll do at some point. That'll be interesting to figure out who wins that one, because it's all going to be good stuff. And then, I think we got a Fleer, 89 Fleer coming up maybe. So that'll all be good stuff. This was a good time, though.
Make sure you like and subscribe to Hoops Freak Fensty. New episodes and new stories come out every single Saturday. Drop it at around noon Eastern, and you can check out our shorts too, so you get a little taste before diving into the whole episode. You subscribe, and also comment on our episodes too. We look at the comments because we want you to have a great time. And what were some of your favorite stories from the 90s? What were some of your favorite cards you ever pulled? Maybe one day I do an episode like that. Some of the best inserts I've ever pulled out of single packs. But that's why we do this, because nostalgia is fun and it's good for the heart, good for the soul. For Adam Bernard, I'm Hoops Freak Fensty. See you freaks later.